We now invite Matthew Sobers, the other son of Sir Garfield, to present his tribute.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad so many of you could make it here today. Seeing many of you here and knowing so many more are here with us in spirit from around the world means more to my family than words can express. Thank you for coming to celebrate the life of my father. When I think of Dad, I don't first think of cricket. I think of a table tennis table. Like many sons, there came a day when I was convinced I was finally good enough to beat the old man at something. So I challenged him to a game of table tennis. 10 minutes later, I don't think I'd scored 3 points. Needless to say, I never asked for a rematch. The gap between his talent and my ability was simply too great. I remember thinking the historians had got it wrong. They used the word Chinaman in the wrong sport. That was Dad. Whether it was cricket, table tennis, golf, or just shooting hoops with the kids. He was blessed with rare talents few people had. But as I grew older, I realized his greatest gifts had very little to do with sport, but everything to do with the way he lived. Before I go any further, I would like to thank the government of Barbados, and especially Prime Minister Mia Mottley. Your kindness, compassion that you showed my father during the final months of his life, those gave him dignity, peace, and the priceless gift of being at home. On behalf of my entire family, I thank you. We will never forget your generosity. To the people of Barbados, thank you for embracing my family with such extraordinary warmth and love. Your prayers, your messages, your kindness have carried us through these difficult days. And for everyone who made today's celebration possible, I thank you. Dad would have appreciated every detail. The world knew him as the right, excellent Sir Garfield St. Auburn Sobers. Many believed he was the greatest cricketer who ever lived. If anyone asks why, the answers could be found in the summer of '66. On England's own soil, he produced what remains the greatest all-round performance the game has ever seen. 722 runs, 20 wickets, and 10 catches in just 5 matches. England's own press watched in amazement and crowned him King Cricket. Nearly 60 years later, no one has matched the complete mastery of the game. Many believe no one ever will. But remarkable as those achievements were, they tell only part of the story. Dad was born into a Barbados still emerging from the long shadow of plantocracy and colonial rule. At a time when opportunity was limited for so many, he became living proof that excellence could come from these shores. He didn't simply win cricket matches, he changed what people believed was possible. A boy from the Bayland became respected by kings, prime ministers, by world leaders and ordinary people across every continent. He gave generations of Barbadians and West Indians something priceless: belief. Belief that excellence had no postcode. Belief that character mattered as much as talent. Belief that humility could stand beside greatness. He inspired children to dream bigger adults a reason to stand a little taller. He showed the world that Barbados could produce. That may have been his greatest innings. To the world, he became King Cricket. To me, he was simply Dad. And like every good father, he spent a lifetime teaching his son. The first lesson was to listen. He would always tell me, Matthew, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and you should use them in that proportion. It sounded simple, but it became one of the greatest lessons of my life. Understanding begins with listening. The second lesson, of course, was humility. For someone who had every reason to believe he was special, he never believed he was better than anyone else. Whether he met a head of state, a taxi driver, or a small child seeking an autograph, everyone received the same smile, the same respect, the same kindness. Titles never impressed him, character did. The third lesson was not to take life too seriously. Dad loved to laugh. He loved telling stories. He loved being with people. He often reminded me, Matthew, if you're too scared to live, you've already lost. Life is short. Make the most of it. You can't carry it with you. He understood something many spend a lifetime trying to learn. Records will be broken. Thanks, Mr. Lara. Trophies gather dust. Statistics become history, but kindness never grows old. Respect never goes out of style. And the way you make people feel, that lives on. I believe that's what immortality really is. Not living forever, but living on in those lives you've touched. Dad, thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your laughter. Thank you for showing me true greatness is not measured by applause, but by character. You made our family proud. You made Barbados proud. You inspired the Caribbean. You earned the admiration of an entire cricketing world. The world will remember King Cricket, but I will remember my father. Rest peacefully. We love you, we miss you, and we always will. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.